You're now Recon, and you're packing your shit. You're going to war.
I'm now Recon. They said you're going to Kuwait, or we're going to Saudi Arabia because Kuwait was overtaken by Iraq. We were like, where's Kuwait? I didn't know where Kuwait was. Like them guys in Vietnam. Where's Vietnam? Right? Where's Kuwait? So we looked up. We found out where Kuwait was. So we actually got our gear ready. They started giving us classes on how to do call for fire and stuff like that. It wasn't really much time to do patrolling type stuff, and you know, first of all, there wasn't even a second or a third platoon. There was only 2 platoons in Recon at the time, and when they integrated us in there, they stood up a third platoon and split us up with a bunch of new guys that were coming in. So we called ourselves third herd, as you know, whenever you're third platoon, you're third herd. So we got in there, we set up, we got ready, we started packing, checking gear, repacking. I mean, you know, the loadout is just horrendous. Inspect this and whatnot. I mean, the rules, and you had the rules. You couldn't take any porn with you. You couldn't take any booze with you or any personal firearms, because we all went out and actually bought our own pistols.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we all went out and bought our own pistols, thinking we're going to take take our own pistols over there, and they're like, "No, you're not." So they squashed that. But good thing though, because I bought a Taurus and the damn thing broke like the first freaking time I used it. But
that's what you went and bought, a Taurus?
Yeah, that's all I could afford. I was a E3, man.
Nice.
So yeah, we got it all ready to go. Everything was ready to go. I think we left in September, somewhere around September, from what I remember. We flew there. I believe it was they don't have them anymore. It was a C-141. I believe we flew over there on a C-141 and landed somewhere in Saudi Arabia.
Well, how long, when they told you, pack your shit, you're going to war, did they give you a time estimate of how long it was going to be before you were actually
They did, but it kept
ground?
getting kicked back. We were actually on lockdown. We couldn't go anywhere. And we had to stay in the barracks and whatnot. But it was like, okay, we're going, and then we went.
How long was it?
From the time we got the word until the time we left, about 3 weeks.
That's it?
Yeah.
So you did call for fire classes.
Yeah.
And
whatever other classes they want. You got to remember, we didn't have all the technology. I had a Prick 77, dude.
Yeah,
and a 104.
That's true.
You know, Prick 77 ain't hard to use. I mean, you just correct, and you're live.
But nowadays, that's like
We had no GPSs. We had a compass. We got a GPS when we got over there, though. It wasn't actually a GPS out of a helicopter. And there was only one dude that knew how to use it. It was a team leader. Nobody else knew how to use it. He could use it, you know. Night vision goggles were crappy at best, but no body armor. All we had was a flak jacket and we call it LBE at the time, canteens and a butt pack. Real low key, no tech, so there wasn't much to call for fire, man.
Yeah.
And as a reconnaissance element, you're not involved in, direct action and stuff like that. So room clearing, basic room clearing was all we needed to know. And I think that was just more or less common sense. It wasn't an official class or anything like that. We were very, in comparison to what I've done in SF and in the agency, this was like grade school, like elementary school level type training.
Really?
Really, yeah. It was just gut, man. Gut, let's go, let's do it. We're Marines.
Were you going to an urban environment, or?
We didn't know what environment we were going in.
You didn't know it was just going to be desert,
Nothing.
urban, nothing?
Nothing. We didn't know anything about it. We weren't told anything about it. We were just knew we were going. Improvise, overcome, adapt. That's the whole Marine Corps motto, And we lived our lives like that. We didn't care. like, let's go.
So you got there.
So we got there and it was hot as shit in September. You know, we got in there, within the Gulf, and I remember they put us in these big warehouses on cots, and it was just blistering hot, man. No AC, no nothing. We sat there on cots for a good, probably 2 weeks, drinking warm Coke. I remember they go, hey, you want some Coke? Yeah, sure. We open it up and it turned into foam as soon as it hit your mouth. It was just all warm shit, you know. But they had, like I said, they brung in them global pre-positioning ships that had all the equipment on it, and they started offloading that, and we started getting that equipment. You know, as a lance corporal or even a sergeant in the Marine Corps, we were all sitting around, and it was basically the higher ups were doing all the logistics stuff, and then bringing that logistics to us. And only a few people were involved in that, and that wasn't team guys, so to speak, you know. So we just sat around until they figured out where we were going. Initially, they took us to a military compound. I couldn't even remember where it was. It was actually rooms with AC. Stuck us in there. We stayed there for a little bit just to acclimatize and adapt to the area. We continued to go over training, you know, like the 50 cal. No, we had 50 cal. So we did the timing on headspace and timing for the 50 cals and stuff like that. We went to a few ranges, I believe. One thing they had, and this will play later on, is they had AT4s, but they only had the 9mm practice stuff.
Oh.
We never shot an AT4 before. All we shot was in practice 9mm. Little tracer round.
Yeah.
Goes down. But anyway, we did a little training on that. We got vehicles at this time, no up armor, nothing, just soft skin, no doors on half of them. Humvees that were, somehow they got painted desert. Some of them did anyway. Yeah. Desert colors, you know. We stayed there for a while, and we did a lot of card playing, poker. And then we got the word we were going to a place called Manifa Bay, which is on the eastern side of Saudi Arabia in the Gulf area, right up through there. I believe, yeah. And then we went to Manifa Bay, and that's when we sat down and we started digging holes. They said we were protecting the border and stuff like that, but we're just loitering there, basically.
That's what these pictures are?
Yeah, they're kind of in the same area, living in holes for the most part. Then they set up a tent city, and we went to a tent city and hung out there. I can remember getting hit by multiple rocket launchers. It was funny because you can see them on the horizon. They look like Roman candles, just, and that was the first time we got hit. Rockets went up over us, and they ended up hitting a guard shack for MP shack, but they had played that chemical weapon warfare stuff so high, so much that everybody was extremely paranoid over that. And we all had gas masks and mop level suits on us. And I swear, the first time that thing went off, I had donned and cleared that entire mop suit in about 30 seconds. Yeah. It was like, because they had different alarms, and the mop level alarm went off, and we're like, holy shit, man. Putting that thing on, down and cleared, and then you just sit there, and then you start hyperventilating. Do I got any gas? Did I get gassed? What's happening? And then they give the all clear, and it's like, wow, man. And that's got an effect on you as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
20 years, 21. A lot of the guys that have gone in during, say, if you went into Afghanistan, joined the military in like 2014, you've already heard about combat for the last, 14 years. Here we didn't hear nothing about it, you know? The mindset wasn't there at all. It was, you know,
yeah.
It is what it is. But yeah, the first time we got hit, it was like, oh, shit. Then after that, they kept hitting us, and pretty soon it's like, okay, the alarm went off, and you're sitting there in your rag going, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
whatever.
Did they ever wind up using chemical
No,
weapons?
they didn't. Well, they claim they did after the fact, and they try to roll it into the Gulf War syndrome stuff. But if I don't think officially they've ever said that they did use chemical war.
I mean, I'm sure the government would never lie to us. Right?
Hell no, man.
Yeah.
I think the big scare was with that we had our artillery unit actually had tactical nukes, and if they used any of that, they were going to nuke them a little bit,
Oh,
just a little bit.
nice.
But it never came down.
Just
to
a
any
little
of that.
bit, huh?
Yeah,
Just a little nuke.
just a little nuke.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.